Hey, good people. This is Donna Meals with Empowered Meals, and we're going to do a little food education today. And as per a request from a lovely member of the Facebook page, her name is Caro. Not sure how to pronounce her last name. Shout out to you, Caro. I believe you're somewhere over there in Eastern Europe from the looks of where you were hanging out in your Facebook page. A place I am definitely is on my list. I have a Slovakian son. He was a Rotary exchange student and did make it to Prague one time and hung out with him years after he had stayed in my home. So we're going to be talking about, Caro made she made the request that I do a show on antioxidants. And what a great request, because basically this is probably all stuff you knew, but it's just going to be a refresher, and I'm just going to talk about, each one of these little categories. I'm going to start off with a little meme. Self-respect, self-worth, and self-love all start with self. So stop looking outside of yourself for your value, okay? Got my little life coach hat on there, and I've been talking about some of that stuff lately too, but let's get some self-respect and self-love and start feeding ourselves with some killer superfoods full of antioxidants and nutrients and blah, 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 all that stuff. So we're going to go down a lightning round, okay? Okay, number one, avocado. Love me an avocado, okay? I can eat them plain with salt. Every morning I have half one and put it on a little bit of the coconut aminos, which is kind of like a soy sauce, but better. And no wheat, no gluten. Avocados are super high in protein and also a very good source of a healthy oil, healthy fat. I use a lot of avocado oil, coconut oil, and olive oil. Those are my three oils that I cooked with, and the avocado is really good too. I actually have a nice little pan spray that I use. Pretty good for the high heat. So that's great in salads and really good in your smoothies to add extra nutrition, and it actually gives it kind of makes the grittiness go away of the protein powder. That's a little trick. So anyway, yay for avocados, number one. I just put it in number one spot because it's my favorite. So these aren't in any order. I'm just going to try and go in some succession here. I'm going to talk about fermented foods. The biggest one is yogurt. Okay, that's the most popular. And if you're going to go and pick a yogurt, don't go and say, oh, I saw Jamie Lee Curtis selling Activia. Blah, 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 blah. Read your labels, okay? You want a yogurt that's obviously organic. You want a Greek yogurt, Greek style, and it just has a little more depth in it. I use it instead of sour cream. I haven't used sour cream in years and years and years. It does the same thing, like on a baked potato or in a recipe or whatever. It does the same thing. I actually don't do dairy at present, so I use a product called Cocoa June, which is a coconut yogurt, and it's fermented somewhat, but it's got that consistency of a Greek yogurt, and it's stunning. It's really a good product, Cocoa June. So, but other fermented items, I don't know if you guys have ever had kefir, and that's like a liquid yogurt. It's like a drink. And just super good for you. All these products, they all have the lactobacillus, acidophilus, all of those SSSs that are basically probiotics. And it's just really good for your gut health. Anytime you can have probiotics in your food, that you're just batting 1,000. So, and you want a product that's got to have like 5, 6, 7 lists of the different types of the probiotics. And it's not necessarily, it is quantity, but it's also, the diversity of the quality, which is diversity. So like, for instance, Activia or Yoplait or whatever that says, oh, good for gut health. There's maybe 2 on there. And they're not always naturally derived in the way, like from a starter culture. They're kind of thrown in there. So they're not going to be as good for you. They just aren't. It's factory food. It's not made, with the way nature intended. So anyway, what was I going to mention now? Okay. Sauerkraut, kimchi. These are all different examples of fermented foods. Oh, miso. I buy a tub of miso and mix it, and there's one brand that actually has a little, I make a dressing out of it. I use the dressing blueprint recipe, and you can make a really killer dressing with miso that has probiotics in it. So good for you and delicious. So those are just some of the examples. Okay. So my third category is nuts and seeds. Okay. I can't even tell you. I put them on my salads. I do chia seeds. I do hemp seeds. I throw those in every salad, and some sprouts too. Ooh, I didn't have sprouts on there, but I should. I'm going to put that in with next category. But seeds, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, all of those seeds and the different nuts, perfectly great, lovely source of protein and the natural, good for you, good fats that your brain needs to function. Your brain is made up of all those good fats. That's really what comprises your the cellular structure in your brain. So definitely can't go for that enough. I love to do that Cocoa June yogurt. And I have some granola that's made, it's grain-free granola, because I'm trying to go grain-free. It's lower carbs and a little more nutrition. And I have a wonderful product that I use that has the grain-free granola. It's made out of a lot of nuts, and it has different flavors. Dang, I should have got that out, but I'll try and post it. I'll try and post the name. I'll take a picture. So, okay, next category, leafy greens. And I'm going to throw sprouts in there too. Sprouts are like the little babies. You ever see the little microgreens, micro cilantro, micro sprout, sprouts. They're so good for you because they're the little babies and they have all of the protein and the nutrients to make that plant grow big. So you get it all in just one little tiny condensed little plant. So throw those on my salad all day long as well, with all the nuts and the seeds too. But the other leafy greens that come to mind, some of them are cruciferous, which is on our list too. But that would be, dang it. Oh, I did write them down. Okay. I'll put on my glasses and read them. Okay. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, kohlrabi. I think collard greens are in that mix too. That's some of your greens. But spinach, those are all your cruciferous vegetables. Excuse me. But I got off my little track there. But some of your other leafy greens that are good to include would be any of the good, darker the better, the more nutrients. So iceberg is going to have more water content, and it has fiber, so it does have value. A lot of people say, oh, no nutritional value. It has fiber, and the little bugs in your tummy eat the fiber, so you need to feed your body fiber. So iceberg's good. I always mix it, if somebody has iceberg and that's all they have, I mix it with a little bit of spinach, or kale. Not a fan of kale, but I love me some spinach in a salad or some field greens. The darker the leaves, the better. The more nutritional value you're going to get out of them. So, okay. So cold water fish, salmon, trout, herring, all of those fish, especially the ones that swim in the stream, because they eat so many good algae and plankton, the algae that are in the streams. And that's what gives them their high content of omega-3. Another really good place to find omega-3, which you wouldn't think, and nobody really knows this, is actual heirloom beef that has not been corn-fed, 100% real deal bison or beef that has not been fed anything. They're allowed to be in their natural environment, the way God made them, and they eat grass and not corn from these, you know, crazy factory farmers forcing these poor cows to eat corn. They can't eat it and it hurts them. So, but they lose their ability, and they lose the omega-3 values in the meat. So if you're looking to do a little omega-3, everybody always thinks salmon, but organic grass-fed beef is the ticket for that too. So little known fact, okay? Berries. Everybody knows berries are superfoods, especially blueberries, packed with antioxidants. Antioxidants basically kill all the free radicals and the different things that go off when your chemistry is awry in your body. We need antioxidants. It helps us with the oxidation of a lot of the compounds that our body produces, so which can really cause damage at cellular level. So antioxidants help with that. All right, what's next? Okay, we did the cruciferous. I skipped ahead a little bit there. Tomatoes, good for vitamin A, I think C, and they also have lycopene, really good for your eyes and your skin. But tomatoes are a nightshade, and I was reading this thing from Dr. Stephen Gundry, okay, love him. And he says stay away from nightshade vegetables, which vegetables with seeds, and you want to pull the seeds out if you can, like cucumbers. I believe peppers are in that line, eggplant, and the skin and the seeds. And so that's why the Italians knew the deal. If you ever buy Italian tomatoes, they're always peeled, and there's, you know, they pulled the seeds out. It's all in all the ancient recipes too, because that's the defense mechanism of some of our plants. Some of our plants really aren't that good for us. I know that kidney beans, if you don't cook them and you ate them raw, they could kill you. I read something like that, but yeah, pretty interesting. But make sure you get them out of the can like God made them. Just kidding. Something with some type of kidney bean, but that plants have their own natural things because that's their defense, so people and animals don't eat them. So there are some things that come along with some of the like the nightshade vegetables that aren't as good for us. So, but that's an interesting thing for another day. If you want to look up Dr. Stephen Gundry, buy his book, whatever, he's got a whole different, everybody's got their own theory, right? But I take his probiotics every day. He has a really good product. I ordered them online. So it's a probiotic and a prebiotic mixed together. So anyway, okay, moving right along. Number 9, garlic, onions, ginger, okay? Not only are these fabulous flavors, they're all in my little list of what I call stock vegetables because they're universal and they go pretty much in everything, unless you don't like them or you're allergic to them, but I'm not, and thankfully so. I am starting to eat ginger again because it was on my don't eat list, and it not giving me an issue, so I've managed to fix that by healing my gut. So very good for digestion, and these are very anti-cancer. The compounds that are found in garlic, onions, and ginger, good stuff. I cook with them all the time. Like I said, good for your digestion too. Another thing that's really good for you is mushrooms of any kind. I heard years ago, oh, no nutritional value in mushrooms. Well, you know, they have a lot of minerals, actually, it's been found, and they have various antifungal and antiviral properties, which the benefits of that, totally killer. That was on my no list too, and I'm now back in the world of eating mushrooms. Love those oyster mushrooms. I love all the diverse ones. And there's some supplements out there that you can get. Maybe you don't like mushrooms, but you can buy supplements and get them in concentrate, you know, the reishi and all that. Super good health properties that they have. Okay. So next, citrus. Everybody knows vitamin C. So good for your immune system. A lot of vitamin C in all your citrus, and it's just a lovely, beautiful flavoring agent, you know, in any kind of cooking too. And one of my faves. The juice can be very high in content of sugar, so you do need to be careful, especially orange juice. So the pulpier, the better, because that fiber in the pulp is going to even out the disbursement of the blood sugar. So keep that in mind. All right, ancient grains. Wheat is not the only game in town, okay? I mean, there's spelt, farro, buckwheat, quinoa is now becoming more popular. A lot of people are going that direction, you know. Usually everybody's in their eyes, oh, we got wheat, we got brown rice, or, you know, rice, wheat and rice, and corn, and, you know, whatever. So maybe try some of those spelt flour or farro. Farro is really super low in carbohydrates. So that would be a good side dish instead of brown rice. It's a lot lower in carbohydrates. Quinoa as well too, and lots of good nutrients. We kind of lost touch with all this factory food farming where I believe I mentioned, you know, there's only like 7 varieties of wheat now, and they're all produced by Monsanto and Cargill and loaded with GMO properties that we don't want. So try some of this other stuff and look for organic, obviously, duh. Okay, so number 13, this one's a surpriser. Sweet potatoes, loads and loads. Difference between yam and a sweet potato, okay? The yams are the ones that are orange. Sweet potatoes, when you cut them open, they're more like a regular potato, less starchy, more vitamins and minerals, and they have that yummy little taste. Man, I'd bake those off, cut them in half, and bake them off, and smush them up with a little bit of cinnamon and a tiny bit of, I would either put a little agave or some real maple syrup, just a little bit, you don't need much, and a little tiny bit of butter and some salt to blend out the flavors. Yum. So good for you. Tons of vitamin A, C, E, just loaded. So not many people eat the sweet potatoes anymore. They gravitate towards the yams, but give that a shot. Okay, this one, pomegranate. You know, everybody knows that little pommy juice. Loaded, 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 just like the berries with antioxidants. Same idea. Makes a very beautiful salad, but, you know, and I love that little, when you bite into a little pomegranate seed, that little burst, but then what do you do with that little seed part? It's probably good fiber, not good for me. I've been told to stay away from, you know, those little seeds, and you know, if I'm having a salad, I would probably spit those out because they're not good for me and my specific issues. So, okay, so number 15, legumes and beans. Okay, that's like, you know what beans are, but we're talking, you know, black beans, white beans, lima beans. Never liked lima beans. Give me all the other beans, I'm good with that, but I didn't like those. Fava beans. Fava beans is what they make the Greek, well, it's a Middle Eastern dish. Oh my gosh, the little meatballs. Sorry, drawing a blank. That's what you get. This is a real live doing one shot, not editing. I'm still trying to figure that out, but fava beans is what I was, yeah. They're used a lot in Middle Eastern cooking. So legumes are more along the lines of chickpeas, and they also lentils in Indian food. So those are not starchy. They're good because they're loaded with minerals nutrients, and they're not as starchy and high, you know, blood sugar. They don't affect your blood sugar as much as starchy items like potatoes and rice do. So they're a little low on the glycemic index. That's what I was looking to say. So those are just a good substitute to try every once in a while. If you haven't had something like that every once in a while, do a nice little black bean and salsa dish with avocado. There, we hit all the wickets in there. We got a whole bunch of stuff. And some garlic and some onions. There you go. You make a beautiful vegetarian dish with that. So that's just an idea. So my last one, number 16. And this is the pièce de résistance, the dark chocolate. So many good antioxidants in dark chocolate. The darker, the better. You want like a 70% or higher cacao percentage. And the really good thing, they've got a lot of red wine is in that category too, with the polyphenols, but they also have resveratrol is found in red wine. So a little bit of that, you know, each day is good for you. So they say next week it'll be another study and they'll say, no, it's really bad for you. It's really good for you. So anyway, we've gone about 21 minutes, and I'm getting a little better at keeping the, you know, the less time on the videos so everybody can actually have time to watch them. So I just wanted to wish you all a really good evening, and hope you're all doing fabulous. Please reach out, and anybody watching this, give me a topic that you'd like to see, and I'll do a show about it. Anything that interests you, whether it's food or, you know, relationships, life, handling emotions, anything. Let me know, because I've got my life coach hat on, and I've got my food coach hat on too at any given time. So, all right, well, have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.